welcome to Conversations here on NTA. My name is Nike and the house is full. Let's start with the lady right in front of me.
Hi, it's glad to be back. Happy 2019 to you guys. My name is Enabong Robin.
Oh, okay, happy 2019, yeah? It's Z.
Z Chuks. Chukuma is my name.
My name is Rita. Let me join them. Happy 2019.
You know this is like February, right? Why are we doing Happy New Year?
We don't want to be left out. That's
You never know. Somebody probably just woke up from a coma.
Somebody may just see this for the first time in a year, so it's good.
And no one had a reason for saying Happy 2019.
It's the first time on the show this year.
Okay, so today we're talking about career choices. Some of us started off in school reading one thing and ended up doing something completely different. This happens. Sometimes our parents push us in a certain direction, and your mind, your heart, your body, your soul is tilting in that direction. A classic example is Fela. We all know that they wanted him to be a medical doctor, and the rest of it is history. His name is etched in the sands of time as one of our greatest musicians. So our topic today, career choices. We'll be taking a quick break and we'll be right back in the conversation room.
I'm an artist. I also produce hip hop is what I do mostly. And what influenced my career, I just find myself doing it, and I have joy whenever I do whatever I do. So it gives me joy. And secondly, my environment is my inspiration.
Okay, what influenced my choice of career? Actually, I did my first degree in biochemistry, and I grew up in Delta State, in Warri, Delta State. A branch of my course was in the environment. And living as a young girl in Delta State, I saw oil spillage, environmental degradation firsthand. So when I realized that I could study this, how to control this spillage, how to help the environment, I chose to go for a master's degree in environmental management. So by the grace of God, I had the privilege to study abroad, and I chose to study environmental management.
It's the passion I have for my career. I'm passionate about it. I love it, and that is why I'm into it. So it's something I love doing. It's something I'm passionate about. Yeah.
If you have a contract and want to start your work, the first person you involve is a quantity surveyor. Why do you invite me first? Because it's knowledgeable in everything about construction. Not the architect. That's the place I mentioned before. They were in the forefront, but once surveying came in at late. So it's a very powerful profession. You have a lot to do because you need to understand the cost of material in the market, both civil, electrical, and mechanical. We are jack of all trade and master of all. So it's a profession I so much appreciate. And I encourage people to read quantity surveying.
Why I choose it is this. First of all, I have a dream. I have something I want to create. Right from my childhood, I have something I always want to create. So as I study along, I discovered that if I fall into this, my path right now, it is going to help me to be able to bring it out. I can be able to be more creative in bringing that which I want. To me now, I want to create a very security environment whereby nobody can be able to escape the kind of thing I want to create via my ICC IQ.
I'm into business. What actually influenced my choice of career is my love for it, my passion for it. And I've always wanted to be a businessman, to be independent. Yes.
I work with the Office of the Secretary General of the Federation. What influenced me about my career is because of the probity and transparencies of my job. And then it actually stimulates me. I further my education after the employment, and now a satisfied national accountant of Nigeria. I love it because the career talk much about prudency, talk about transparency, talk about probity. And by that, if you're actually doing the work well, you can fight the corruption to the later.
It started from when I was young. My aunt is a nurse. We had a maternity home. She wanted me to toe that line. But when I can't stand seeing blood. So when I told myself, no, it's better I go into accounting. So from there, and I have friends too that wanted to toe that line. So I just decided to move towards accounting because I also love mathematics. So
I love that course. I love construction. Generally, I said it just because I love it. Not that it's even giving me money, but I love that job. I've been into construction for about 20-something years now.
Career choices, and that's what we're talking about today in the conversation room. So Enobong, since you haven't spoken to us all year, why don't you tell us what you think about the topic today?
Well, for me, the topic is personal, but hopefully as we go into the conversation with everybody here, somebody out there is going to learn that, you know, career is not really about what you think you can do. There's so many factors that help you with your career choice. Yes, we all ignore our parents. You can't choose what you want for me, but sometimes there's a saying that goes, what an adult sees sitting on a tree, you as a child, you can't, or sitting down, you as a child, you can't see sitting on a tree. For me, I've always wanted to be in the media and theater. This is what I've always wanted to be. My mother never wanted it. She wanted law. Simply because I could talk, she wanted, she's like, oh, you should do law. Yes, growing up, I realized that if I were a lawyer, I would still be good, because truth be told, even if I was to sell shoes now, I would be good doing it because I'm a dedicated person. So I don't care what I do. But there are so many people who just blame their parents for everything, blame their siblings, blame people around them. Take responsibilities. What career choice have you made? What error do you think, you know, you have encountered? How can you straighten this up? So it's Nika, it's a long journey we are going today, and I hope we have time to exhaust this topic. But over to you. Let the next person to do what they have to do, and we continue from there.
What about you?
Well, what happened was Z didn't want to be.
Z just switched her accent. Did you notice? Z is fine.
Okay, let me come back to the accent that you know.
All right.
That better.
Yes.
Okay. Well, your parents always say. Actually, no, I saw something yesterday on Instagram, and it said the typical African parent, if you're not a lawyer, you're not a doctor, and you're not an engineer. You're a failure. Not really.
Add accounting to it.
You have to be accountant, lawyer, engineer, doctor.
Four, yeah.
Okay, so we'll say those four. Okay. If you're not in those four, you're a failure. Or there's somebody now added his own. He said, or married to a rich man.
A very good career choice.
Yeah. You're a failure. Yes, in Nigeria, that's what it is. Our parents send us to school and say, for bragging rights of, oh, my child is a doctor, my child is a lawyer, my child is an engineer, without thinking what the child likes, without paying attention to, this child doesn't really like going to biology, chemistry, and physics classes. This child is succeeding more in arts and theater and other things. I'm going to use myself as an example. I found myself in the hospital because of my parents God is judging you people.
They are watching. That doesn't watch this episode. Daddy, if you are watching, I'm sorry on
what
their behalf.
Mean? Some people don't get what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Say it.
Tell them.
Plain and simple, Z.
No, did you find yourself in the hospital as a patient?
Exactly. How did you find it?
Or as a nurse. Or as a nurse.
Well, more as the boss of the nurse.
Tell us.
Okay, you own a hospital?
No, I could. You know, with my license.
Okay, tell us.
Well, my parents wanted Dr. Zainab. They ended up getting Dr. Zainab, but that's just in paper. In reality, I don't want anything close to Dr. Zainab. I don't even want to see a hospital. I don't want to pass it by.
So, Z, you went through all the rigors. You went through
all
medical
those
school,
years.
medical school, residency.
Yes.
The whole 9 years.
I even worked.
Right? So, at which point did you decide no?
When I was old enough to move back to Nigeria and not need my father's money to pay school fees. So I took a very sharp left turn. And here I am.
And how did they take that? I don't know.
There's nothing to take.
Nigerian parent would.
Well, I have one Nigerian parent.
Okay.
Then I have one Oyinbo mother.
Oh.
That is like, oh, anything you want as long as you've gone to school, and you know, I'm so proud of you. And my dad is like, but it's all love.
It's all love.
So, in case you guys are missing the point, Z is actually a medical doctor. She's certified. Certified. She's certified. But this is what she does for a living.
NYU School of Med.
Wow.
Not even just any school. NYU School.
That's mind blowing.
Wow. But here, I do a better job giving people advice and talking than I do looking at your skin and trying to tell you what
all that money. All that money gone.
Is it your money?
It hurts.
They wouldn't have dashed it to me, so it was better that I wasted it.
Well, career choices, to me, could be personal. I was meant to be a lawyer. I loved to be a lawyer.
Okay.
But I couldn't make the cutoff. I found myself in English and Literary Studies department.
Okay.
I had intended to leave after my year one I wanted to write JAM, then go back to law. But I found myself in my second semester year one. There was a course they introduced, Introduction to Oral Literature. And the course spoke a lot about what I wanted to be in the future.
Okay.
I embraced it and remained in the department. And if you place law and place English and Literary Studies, I would choose English and Literary Studies.
Yeah.
I identified what I wanted to be.
English is.
But when you have in several areas.
Yes, I am. When I had to do with what I have done, have I practiced it? No. I came out and found myself in marketing.
Okay.
I've been in business development, and I have evolved from there to something business. So if you ask me more now, I'll tell you I'm a small business coach. I talk more on how to start up. Okay. I'm an entrepreneur. You can set up your business and run your business. I can tell you or teach you how you can do a whole lot of things like that.
But you're practicing what you learned. The same English. Because it's the same English you speak to
and do marketing.
And
you understand?
I discovered about English. If you studied English, you could English about humanity.
Exactly.
And you could, if you can touch, connect. In fact, I always say that the best marketers should study English. Because it makes it easy for me. If I'm approaching you, the way I present myself would make you buy from me.
Okay.
And presentation could be based on how you respond, how I feel you respond. Because in marketing, I've done well. I'll praise myself. I've done well in marketing. And most organizations where I've worked and where there are places that are difficult for people to go, they will say, okay, Ohaka, please come and go. Because I always have my way.
You will get a yes.
And it always works for me. So I studied English, but I found myself in business development, and it's working.
Wow.
So, Rita, it's your turn. Tell us. Tell us.
Jackson, you a Barakbo. That's my father. He looked at me and saw a doctor. This girl who hates the sight of blood. Anyways, I'm that girl who was in science class in secondary school. And when it was time to register for WAEC, I registered literature, government, and all the art courses. And my principal sent for my dad. Your daughter's gone mad. But the thing is, Zainab is right. Our parents always feel they know what is good for us. But what I've learned over the years from my experience and now being a parent myself is it is important for you to study the likes of a child, what their interests are, what tickles their fancy. I have 2 girls. One of them tells me she wants to be an architect. I can smell it from the way she talks. And everything she scrutinizes building even at her age. Wow. My daughter wants to be a doctor and a model. It's quite a combination, right? Quite. but we go like, go for it if that's what you want. Yeah. My son is not quite sure. He wants to be a pilot, he wants to be a sports journalist, he wants to be a chef. He cooks real good, but he's just 10. So
he still has the rest of his life.
Exactly. So we're leaving the options open. What did I end up doing? I read theater arts because I grew up watching Comfort Okoronko on NTA and thinking, I like this. I want to do this. If I'm not in front of a camera or a microphone, my own nicotine, I should be in court. And if I'm a lawyer, I'm going to be too radical. so I chose, well, lower but get into trouble. I don't want to go to prison like the Fania and Fire Me and all of that. I don't have that strength. I think broadcasting would do. I can still change the world doing that. So I settled for broadcasting. So I read theater arts, majoring in media arts, and doing my master's in media arts. It's fulfilling. For me, career is about passion. Yeah. If I can do it for free and I get paid for it, why not?
Yeah. You're one of the few people that have actually studied one thing and then carried it through all to the very end. I mean, it's
Nika, come on, I'm sitting down here.
What?
She said one of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. Listen. No, but you didn't tell us what you studied.
Well, no, this is not
I
cheap
did theater arts, but you see,
you did?
You see, no, I'm not dragging, but you see, I can relate with her.
Okay.
But yes, I can relate. Also, I don't know why I always think out of the box. All right, it was easy for me because I grew up a little rascal, a little bit, just a little bit, you know. So my mom has a way of letting me do whatever I want to do. You know, even though in my family everybody is science and they all see me as the Olodo of the house, in quotes, because I did arts.
Yeah, they always feel like the science people are
because you did arts, you're not smart. You're not smart enough for the biology and the math, and I don't care, you know. But the thing is, there's so many people who have to understand that most times their parents actually have good intentions. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not enough about you.
I don't know about that good intention.
Well, I feel like my father let me tell you why I say this.
Yeah, I feel like she made just don't. Sorry, they can't do it, so they force it down their children.
Like you said, your son is not sure he wants to be a pilot. He wants to be a chef.
10, 11.
He's just 10, 11. But let me tell you, he's forming so many ideas based on the people around him, the shows he's watching, where he's going to. It is now your job as a mother to help
guide him,
shape and guide him,
not to infuse it in him.
No, when I say shape and guide him, you can introduce him to 1 or 2 options. You know, try to expose him some more. But I'm not saying you should impose. But sometimes, let me tell you the truth. Even there are so many adults right now who are working. They're not sure of their career. They're not sure if they're supposed to be doing that.
They just need
maybe
pay,
the pay is fine. Maybe the money is right.
A lot.
You understand?
I want to say 80%.
But a situation where you work, you go to the office and come back and you are complaining about everything. Your boss, listen, you're not in the right career path. So if you are listening to somebody older, perhaps you would have, been able to find something that satisfies you, because it's not everybody.
Have you thought about maybe they listen to that older person, that's why they're miserable?
I'm trying to balance what you said. Most times, our parents want us to be what they want us to be, not what
exactly.
we want to be. Most errors that have been made in the past, sorry to say 60% go to our parents.
Yes.
Reason is this. My mom wants to be mama doctor. And because she wants to go to the Christian mothers meeting and say, doctor is coming back. And she doesn't want to know.
It's not Chukwudi is coming back.
No, she doesn't want to know if Chukwuma wants to be a doctor or not.
Or if he's happy, if he's satisfied.
Truth is, I've had friends who studied medicine for the sake that their parents wanted them to study medicine, but they don't know into medicine.
Exactly.
You see, it's not the only one. I have lots of them as friends.
Okay.
They are doing something far from medicine.
But there's some success stories that have come out of this. How about the the Williams, the Venus and Serena's father, I don't think they were totally too thrilled about tennis to start with. And he kind of egged them on, and look at where they are now.
A little bit. So, let me ask you a question.
No, I think they wanted tennis.
Yeah.
They wanted tennis.
Both of them?
They wanted tennis because there are other sisters. They're not just the two. They have other sisters.
Okay.
They have other sisters. I think there's like 7 or 8 of them.
Wow.
They wanted tennis. And the father, luckily enough, was already in that business of tennis. So he molded them to that. Not that they didn't want it at all. They wanted tennis. But in other cases, you don't want that.
Let's talk about
let's be real, right?
Fowl's the bad guy.
At one point in my life, growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer. Because look, I can argue my way out of anything. All the facts you might not know or might know, I will bring it up and I will win that case. It's like, maybe I should be a lawyer. But I was like, no. And I did think about becoming a chef as well. Because I love to cook and I love to eat. But then I thought down the line, hey, I'll be very oversized though. By the time I cook, I eat all my food. Hey, calm down.
Monique used to say, don't trust a skinny cook.
So you see, like now her son is exhibiting he wants to be a chef. There are culinary schools for kids during the holidays. Register. If he doesn't like it, he's only 10. That culinary school is probably just a month. He'll come back and say, Mommy, I don't want to do this. One down.
Down.
Oh yeah, you want to be a sports journalist. Let's be going to NTA. Do it for a month. He'll come and say, Mommy, I don't think this is it for me. And eventually, he will find that one, and he will stick to it, and he will be the one to come and know, Mommy, it's time for me to go. Can you please drop me off?
Well, that happens with football, actually.
You see?
That happens with football.
So let me ask you guys a question, all right? What happens in a situation where, yes, my father pushed me, yes, he got me a job, yes, I'm earning the 6 figures or what, now I'm married, I'm satisfied. All right, that is the typical situation in Nigeria. But what happens to the people who, the Nigerian level of the university system, okay, they give you, sometimes they apply for a certain subject and they give you a certain thing because of certain factors. And you go in there and you come out.
I didn't school here.
Yeah, she didn't school here, so she won't understand.
But it's what happened.
She won't understand. But the question is, sorry, Rita.
So they choose for you. Your school chooses.
Yes.
Like you do?
Like a...
My cutoff mark chose for me.
Okay.
Because if I was able to meet the cutoff mark for
you
law,
would have got
I would have studied law.
No, despite that, it's happened to my niece. The law I think she wanted to go for was oversubscribed. So even when they all came in, they had to start weeding them out and then moving them. And so now she's studying something
I think that needs to change.
Yeah, so that
in the US, when you're like, let's say you want to go to Howard. When you're applying to Howard, they ask you for your first, second, and third option.
Okay.
If you don't get into your first, you'll get into your second. If you don't get into your second, you get into your third. At least those are your options.
In Nigeria, they ask us for those options.
No, that happens too here.
But the truth is, the university itself will tell you, listen, there's no this thing here. You have the cutoff, you have everything. So you find yourself here. I am a typical example. In my when I was 16, I applied for law in University of U. My name came out in music.
Oh.
Yes. I checked the list.
Wow.
Checked the whole list through. I didn't see my name. So that, I felt bad at some point. And I don't know. Someone like,
how?
You got admission. I'm like, got admission to where?
That time probably.
It came out in music. And I did that music for 1 year.
Wow.
Do you know if you had continued
with that your second choice?
You would have been Tiwa Savage.
I sing really well, all right? But then I want to follow that career. See, it's not easy to study musical. The strings, the keyboard.
Was that your second choice?
Law and music. How, Nikki?
How did they pick
exactly, this is
music
the point.
From the air?
So this is the Nigeria we find ourselves.
Like
so imagine if I had stayed back, and did that music. Finished it, went for NYSC, and come out and start hitting the studio and saying, oh, I'm singing. This is my demo.
Carnegie Hall and done opera.
The truth is, for me as a Nobong, I would work so hard to make sure that works for me. But the question is, there's so many people out there who are in this same position, who are just trying to make ends meet. Do you understand?
But in Nigeria, is it that you only apply to one university?
Okay, I'm trying to learn. You go through the JAM, Which is
she has to pay money. She has to pay money.
Yes, just to pay us a little something.
JAMB and you have your choices. It's not like you are just applying to a Uniben or you are applying to. You have to apply through JAMB and have the choices of schools you want.
Through JAMB?
Yes.
Not through the school?
No, not directly through the school.
It's not
a private
in Nigeria.
university.
You don't
maybe,
accumulate
right?
CGPA from 9th grade like they do in the US. All right. So in Nigeria, you do WAEC, you do NECO, then you do JAMB. Then you do matriculation from the university of your choice,
and then maybe post-JAM too.
Because you know, the system, the US system and the UK system is different from the Nigerian system.
I was in secondary school. They said, okay, by junior year, you're allowed to go to university from junior year depending on what your SAT says.
Exactly, from your 9th grade.
I wrote my SAT in 11th grade. In the 12th grade, I wrote my SAT. I applied to the colleges I wanted. The ones that wanted me responded. I looked at it. Uncle, I don't want you. I did my own shakara since I'm the one that's paying you. No, not you. Okay, I'll take you. So I don't understand the why. I thought WAEC was like SAT.
No, it's not. It's not. The Nigerian system is different. It's more complicated.
She's in
all right.
So she knows
yes, it's more complicated. So for the US, for those listening, the US system and the UK system is still different. For the UK, you have to do the SATs, LBs, and all. For the US, you start accumulating CGPA from 9th grade, depending on what university you intend to go. So you accumulate those points.
I think London, UK is CGP. US is your SAT and ACTs.
No. Wow. So it depends on the university you want to go to. Then you check for their requirements ahead of time. So the truth is, what people don't know is you can actually get some grades from secondary school for the university.
I did not know that.
Yes, you can actually get So you can do some university courses.
You take some university courses while you're in high school. So when you get there, you already have those grades
to university. But in Nigeria, nobody sends you that. All right? In Nigeria, you have to finish it.
When we have done all this and found ourselves, I will find ourselves in the career place.
Yes.
Are we satisfied doing what we want to do?
Satisfaction.
Are you satisfied with what you're doing?
Well, the bank says yes. The bank will say yes. I mean, what I'm paid at the end of the day will make me satisfied.
No,
for most people,
really. I disagree with you.
Because if that's
strongly
the case, then in the US still earning
strongly disagree. Strongly disagree.
It's not about the money.
See, the thing that is giving me satisfaction is what I'm doing right now. All right, the pay may not be here, but I'm happy talking about topics that influence people's life. I'm happy talking about these things. Because if someone is listening and someone is gaining something, I'm well paid, all right? But then...
you're the first person I see saying that.
Well, I'm a very satisfied young lady, all right?
You say that? A lot of people don't say that?
What? If you have 2 kids just for well
I don't have a kid, I don't have a cat, I don't have a dog. My parents are still working. I don't have any liabilities. So if I'm earning 50,000 naira and I can do my hair and buy my toilet,
you're good.
You're well paid.
Enjoying,
career conversation.
Well, when we started, you said if you are a lawyer, doctor, accountant, engineer, or you marry, right?
Marry a rich man. Well, I'm not married.
So maybe that's why he's now infusing the.
You don't need to marry. You can marry very down. You'll be very okay. 50K will be very okay.
Why I throw up that question? Why I throw up that question is this. In the workplace, you have a lot of people who are they find themselves in an office simply because they have a connect, not because they could fit in.
I said so, yeah.
And when they come with that mindset, they don't fit in. They don't fit in within the environment. It bounces back or reflects on them, and you see them becoming aggressive. Now, it looks like everybody might think, oh, this guy is not part of the team. And he himself is isolated because he is not understanding what it's not what he wanted to do, but because he had a connect, he found himself in that office, and the two of them are not working. So when people find themselves there, my opinion is, if you find yourself in an environment where you are not finding satisfaction, move.
You're not a trick.
People find
When
it
you say
difficult to do that.
you're
See,
making
another
it
thing is the
sound like
Nigerian
it's
system.
very easy to find jobs out there. You know that it's not
If
easy.
you can't find it, then make it.
Yeah, but see, the
See.
thing is that
Not everybody
are we
gets
talking
it.
about? Are we
No.
talking based on
No, no, it's
Nigerian
not about
system
having
or
a
based
silver
on
spoon.
the world, the global system? Because I have so many questions. All right,
Ask
there are
God.
so many establishments in Nigeria that you don't find those areas in the university.
Okay.
An example, a typical example, is the road safety. Not the road safety, fire service, right?
Yeah.
Is there any university course or
No,
anything
they have
that prepares you for fire service?
They have no. Once you apply, they have a course that they
in
send you
Nigeria.
to do.
We're talking about Nigeria.
Yes, in Nigeria.
Yeah, which course
Yes.
is that? Tell us.
They train you to
they
be.
train
Tell
you
us.
when
They
they
train you when you
after you
apply.
get
See, that is the point.
No, but even in the US,
So-
there's no course to go and be a firefighter. now.
So
They
that's
train
the
you.
point.
It's a training.
The point is that means people who get there just go there because they have an uncle or somebody who knows
that's what they
somebody.
want to
It
be.
must
It also
something.
be a passion
No,
thing.
it could be passion. See, you could love to do that kind of job. Okay, mine. Okay, I could tell you two of my passions. First is cloth making.
Okay.
Second is acting.
No
Wow.
way. No way.
Wow.
Shift this chair.
These are two things I could do for free.
Wow.
I can, like when I graduated from school, while we were waiting for youth service, I started my fashion line.
Wow.
I was doing it. In fact, I got my first employment when I went to measure someone for suits. And the man we were talking. He said, "You don't sound like a tailor." I said, "No, I'm a graduate, so in case there is space in your place." You understand? The man said, "Okay, train your CV." I trained my CV, and that's how I lost that. Till tomorrow, it still pains me. The
You didn't make that suit.
But why did you stop? You can.
That's why I still say it. I don't like the fact that I stopped.
Wow.
But I think I had this discussion yesterday with a friend of mine who's also a tailor. Like, Chooks, you can come back. I said, no, I have made up my mind. I've lost one line. I don't want to lose the second one. The second one is media.
Okay.
I'm not
So
losing
you
that
develop
one.
this one and
Now,
then.
yes, my media, I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to, when I watch Tinsel and all this so-called African magic, because they give me inspiration. When I'm watching, I'm not watching because it's the story. I'm watching it because I want to develop something that I want to go into.
Okay.
And I also believe that I could realize that my fashion line in media, instead of me sewing, I could project fashion. I could not be an
Be
so
costumier.
for me, it could be a way of reaching out to what I had lost out. You understand? But am I enjoying my job? Yes, that's the problem. I'm enjoying my job.
money.
No, I think his might be.
This is
You
what
know,
I'm saying.
there's a
You're
problem
enjoying
of
the
some
money,
people who
you're
are
enjoying the job.
multi-talented. They could be good at several things.
Yes.
It can be a challenge. It can be an advantage.
I think it's a challenge for me.
No.
My mom says I'm jack of all trades, master of
them
all.
all. Yeah.
There's nothing I can do hair. Matter of fact, I do my own hair. I do my own makeup. I design most of my clothes that I wear. I don't sew it. It's been playing in my head to go to one of these tailoring schools and learn how to get on the machine. But I have material. I can tell you exactly what I want.
Okay.
I could do nails.
You could do something, which is what's helping me. I found myself in multiple things, and I could do very well in all of them. But I discovered that I wasn't achieving any one of them because I could do this halfway.
Because you have too many options. That's the problem.
Now, I read a book that taught me about power of concentration. Now, what I did was I took an analysis of all that I have done and all I have passion on.
Okay.
I started ticking them one after the other. I compared them with my age and where I'm going. Now I started doing some kind of elimination method. You understand? And it's based on that. Someone was telling me yesterday, the day before yesterday, go back to tailoring. I said, I cannot. Because I know that by my calculation and where I'm going, I've made up my mind on what to do.
Okay.
Career-wise, I know when to build my career. I know the number of years I've told myself, this is where you will stop and I will take off. And at that point, I've triggered off my exit mode so that when it gets to that point, I wouldn't be saying, I've not saved enough, I've not done this, I've not done that. That's what people usually have as problem. They wait till the end of the time when they will now start thinking of saving. No, when you want to live in 4 or 5 years time, you begin now to plan. Now, what are you living into? What do you want to do when you leave? You don't leave and start thinking of what to do. You know what to do before you leave. You plan living before you leave. So that when you are nearing your time of exit, you know. Now, it mustn't be money. Money could trap everybody. But there is a zeal, there is a push that I have in me. And that push always makes me know that I'm not going to die in career. I must, by God's grace, if I'm alive and healthy, fulfill that purpose that I've been called to do. And that's in media. So if I'm going to say I'm going to own a media house, I should be knowing if there are courses to go on that. I should start the courses now. If there are equipment to buy, I can only buy the equipment when I'm actively working. Yeah. So that I could from there get the money and prepare. I can't go out. Most people leave career without plan, and they'll go to a bank and tell bank, give me loan. No bank will fund. You plan yourself. If I get all the equipment I want to launch out in the media house while I'm working, it has helped me, because that's the purpose of taking the career, because I may not have had the finance to launch out, but the period of my working, I would have been able to save a little. That would have helped me. Start small from there. Now, you don't leave your career and push your family into distress because you want to pursue a goal. Because you have your children. You have to discuss with your family, discuss with your wife. Yeah. If you want to move out from career, you can also plan to save money. Yeah. A friend of mine told me she and her husband agreed on what they need to do before the husband resigns. And they said, okay, we have to have a particular amount of money in a fixed deposit. Okay. And the husband was able to get that amount and gave to her and said, this for the family, roll it over while I pursue my goal. And within 1 year into the program, into his goal, he was able to pick up some things and started running. So the family didn't feel it much. But most people will just jump out. And because they heard one message in their church, launch out, go do this, go do that, take that step, and they go out and take that step without considering family.
Launch out into the deep. I think it is that kind of impulsive action could happen with someone who is single. Not necessarily with somebody who's... If you have a responsibility to take care of a family and you just wake up and launch out without a plan.
Most people do.
It's something I've told my husband from the word go. If you ever feel that call in church, Bible study, or whatever, whenever you have that feeling, please also remember that you
have a family.
Yes, you have a family. You have bills to pay. You know, there has to be some plan. You must be holding on firmly to another branch before you let go of this one. I've always told him that.
That's true. That's always been the case, though. I feel anybody that has a brain should be able to have that kind of thought. Plain and simple.
Not everyone.
No, you cannot let go of certainty for uncertainty. It does not make sense, no matter how you look at it.
It depends on your circle of friends. See, there are people, if you don't have people...
Those circle of friends will come and encourage you. When they are holding on to certainty, they'll come and tell you, go for uncertainty. You don't need to be in that circle of friends.
Come and give you this, they'll come and give you this story. They'll paint the picture. It will be so beautiful that it will look like, man, I've been wasting my time working. Chai, are you serious?
If people could do, then you will now drop your own certainty.
If people could do MMM, they can do anything.
And now, what is the one the man?
No, MMM was greed. It's not anything. It is called greed. Because if anybody is to call you and say, oh, give me 300 now, I will give you 3,000 now. Okay, why don't you use your own 300 now? Why do you need my own?
It seemed like certainty then, though.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
It is called greed.
And it became a problem.
It is greed. It's only greedy people that went into it. Anybody, all my friends know, none of them could pick up the phone to call me to say this, because I'll ask them, excuse me, do I look hungry, bothered, or thirsty? Which one is it? You think I don't know where the bank is? I don't know how to invest my money. If I want that kind of triple, I will do stocks, I will do bonds, I will do fixed deposits.
Because you're exposed to that. Now, the fact, what I always say is this: never ever judge everybody from your point of knowledge.
No.
I always allow people, because those in the market,
emotional intelligence.
Yes, those in the market don't know about bond. They don't know about fixed deposit. They know
it's still greed. It is still greed.
What they know is how to multiply money.
Multiply.
It's going to multiply their money.
Osusu is not multiplying money. It is your money. It is your there's no interest on top of it. It is your same money that you're giving that is coming back to you, not 1 penny more. MMM was a scam. It was greed. Anybody that went into it was greed. And after MMM crashed, they came out with something. And those same greedy people said, oh no, let me go and try again. It is called greed. No matter how you want to look at it.
The second time around, I'm like, no,
I agree with you.
Was there another one? Is it
kind of trying to pick up again?
There were so many. Now there's is it Dangote? They came out with another scam of Dangote scheme, or is it Ntata scheme?
Swiss Gold. Swiss Gold.
One just died with the password. Which one is that?
That one was cryptocurrency, Bitcoin.
No, Bitcoin. No, truth is this, for as long as people would want to get money, most people are not exposed to the knowledge of where they can get that money. You see, career has a lesson it teaches everybody.
Everyone, yeah.
But people don't learn that. What I tell people around me is, career is another school where we are schooling and being paid for. Now, you see people hire you and they say, do you have how many years of experience? Not because you went to school and gathered that experience, but because while you are working, someone is teaching you.
Yes.
The number of the knowledge I have in my career now is not what I had when I started.
Absolutely.
Now I have gone through a stage. I have reformed. I have learned. I've learned based on interpersonal relationship, based on schedule that had been given to me, assignments and exposures, based on trainings. Now I could come out as a better person, and I could sit from my career point and advise others on what they want to choose.
The one thing I've come to realize over the last couple of years working is every individual who is working should have an exit plan.
Good.
If you're working, especially not for yourself, whether it's government or a private company, if you plan to stay there for 35 years, if that's what tickles your fancy, know what you want to do after that 35 years. Have plans for that. If you want to work in a private organization and you tell yourself, okay, I want to be here for 5 years maximum. I want to be here for 10 years maximum. After that 5 years, what do you want to do? Are you saving up to start a business, or are you looking for another career option in another organization of similar, you know, happening? It's pretty much the issue of planning. We lack that.
But what happens when you're in a field that you don't like? You're just there because you have to collect that paycheck.
At the end of
you
the
have
month.
burdens.
Yes.
You have burdens. You have,
and there are a lot
even
of
if you're
people in
single,
that
forget,
situation.
because everybody wants to say children and wife. Single people have burdens too.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
No, let me just play the devil's advocate. What kind of burden?
I got to eat.
Yes, eat.
Second of all, I got to transportate myself to the job that I am going to.
Zeke, keep going.
Third of all, the transportation needs a maintenance. Fixing car is very expensive.
Go. Keep going.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Well.
The maintenance of myself is very.
Talking.
Excuse me, Uncle Marriage. Excuse me.
Single people. Zeke, keep going. Tell them.
Thank you, my single sister.
No, it's planned though. The marriage.
This is the marriage.
You were saying maintaining yourself is another.
Maintaining myself is expensive. Buying soap, buying cream, toothpaste, going to do hair, going to do nails, paying rent, paying NEP. Hey, that NEPA.
Do you know how many burdens we have on us?
The same burden that you married people have. We have it
actually
too.
more.
We even have it more because we have to keep up to come and find that man that will come and say, "Let me." You people are already taken, so nobody is looking at you.
Preach.
Thank you very much for your services.
Please don't talk about single.
Okay.
When I came out and got that career, because I was planning, hoping seriously to get into my tailoring. So what defined my career path then was money. I was going for the highest bidder. My
Who would pay you the most?
Yes, my industry then was evolving. So I was in the first place, and after like 1 year and 6 months, I got information. My colleague left and moved to another place and called me, "Chooks, there are openings there. Can you come in?" And I said, "Okay." Are they going to pay better? She said, "Yes, come." And I moved. When I moved there, straight, they gave me better. And while I was there, it looked like, man, this money no dey enough. I was looking for another money. Another person came, paid me double of what these people were paying me.
Wow.
And I moved. And it boomeranged.
How?
This new place I moved
You seem
only
to be
lasted,
blessed and favored.
Yes,
Some
only-
people are not like that.
only lasted for 8 months,
8
and the
months.
company had problem. And that was when I took my life count. I stayed out of job for like 1 year. But
Wow.
during that 1 year, I wasn't idle. I got myself, that gave birth to my business life, because from there I had to pick up on business. I started doing things small, and I picked up from there. But in the line of that business, I got a call again to get back into the field. But
Okay.
at this point in time, when I was going in, I had a refined goal.
Yes.
I was going for career satisfaction. Now, you ask me what are the career satisfaction. I no longer go for money. I started going for environment, training, the people I'm going to work with, my responsibility, the role you're going to give to me.
Exactly.
How acceptability. And that has been my, so when people come to ask me, Chooks, okay, what do you advise? I always ask this question. Do you want to go for money or you want to go for career? If you tell me you want to go for money, I have
Can't
what,
you have them both? Isn't
most
it correct?
Yeah,
You can have
yeah.
them both.
cases,
But
in
from
most
my
cases-
story,
most
what I've
cases-
learned is that big salary doesn't necessarily mean, you know, stability.
Satisfaction.
No, it doesn't mean
Stability.
stability.
Because
Or
I mean, they
satisfaction.
doubled his money. He moved on,
I moved
and
on after 8
they
months.
couldn't keep
Sustain it.
They couldn't sustain that. So
Ignorant.
I've learned something from just
So
by listening to
most
that.
times, you may not have the two. Truth is, you may not have the two. Because you may have fat salary, but you may not love the environment.
You won't have that peace of mind. Like what he said, he can do tailoring and acting for free because
yeah.
it's what he loves.
It's-
But if you tell him,
Leave your
"Uncle,
job and
go and be Lasma
No,
for free,"
God forbid.
he'll say no.
Even for money
because it's
itself.
not. No, I'm saying.
As it is now for me, there are jobs you give me, no matter how much you want to pay me.
No,
I'll
no
tell
matter
you.
how
can't
much
do
you
it.
can
I won't.
pay me.
I won't, because I'm no longer looking for money. Starting my career was going for money. So if you could add 100K, 70K, 50K for what I was on top of what I was earning, then I will leave the other person. I never cared for anything. But now, my last job, I took my last job without knowing what my pay was. I resigned my former job. I moved over to the other one. Without knowing what my
People
pay
go for
was.
saction rather than money. Money
Because
is
you
just-
don't-
you don't
you
Few men that would do
happy.
that. Most men will look and see, you know, which one is.
Because
Which one can pay school fees, right?
I had
School
taken
fees.
decisions in the past that never worked for me. Now,
Yeah.
when I was taking that decision, I was taking decision based on, okay, I know who is calling me. I know the man I'm going to work with. I know who I'm going to be with. So I know this person that I'm going to work with wouldn't think anything bad. Whatever he gives me, I'm going to work with him.
But you people have still not answered my question.
Okay, what is your question?
What, when you're in a job that you don't like, a career path that you don't, how do you get out of it?
You find what you like, right?
How? We're in Nigeria.
Z.
Okay, should I tell you the Nigerian version?
You are a doctor. We established that fact already. It is
I am not
licensed one.
the subject of the matter.
We just want you.
My case is
the table so fast.
Use you as an example.
My case is not everybody
See,
has the
see,
opportunity
Yeah,
that I
have a
have.
point.
You
See,
understand?
If you find yourself in a job you don't like, the first thing to do, while you are in that job you don't like, start looking for the one you like.
That's what I was trying to
Be
get
from
to.
the point of safety and launch out.
It's either you
Don't
get
leave
what you
don't
like,
leave what you don't go.
don't leave certainty
what you have.
for uncertainty.
Yes, because if you have to move from what you don't like, because there are some prices to pay for everything, you cannot get it all.
Yeah.
Most times, these people that also come to say that they are not happy and satisfied with their job may also be the problem of the job. They have refused to improve themselves.
Exactly.
But some people employ people they can't offer the services
You
they
just
afford
hit
to
the
do.
nail on the head.
Yeah,
You
no, but we
understand?
wanted to say something. We're almost
No,
out
he
of
just
time.
said something very important that I would address when he's done.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. We're
He used
almost
the
out of
word
time.
refuse to improve yourself.
Yeah.
That is the problem most people have in their organization. You'd finish from NYSC, you get a job, and then you don't go for any certification courses. You don't do any improvement.
There's no self-improvement.
8 years running, you haven't done anything to improve yourself. No skills, nothing. Only what they ask you to do in the office.
And that
Give
group of
yourself
people,
2 years.
Yeah.
Your junior will come, develop themselves, and be your senior.
Those group
at that
of
point,
people
depression sets
are
in.
good at telling you that I have 25 years experience. I've been doing this even before you were born.
depression sets in and you are not satisfied with your job. But the truth is you are stuck there because you can't move on. Because you don't have anything to show for it.
So
all right? So you go to apply for a company that you think is a better option, but it takes someone younger than you in the industry because that person has taken time to develop themselves. So by all means, if you want to leave your job after a certain time, try to develop yourself, do courses. Even if you are the one paying for it, it does not matter. You are improving yourself.
Definitely.
It doesn't. You don't have to wait for your company organization to tell you, oh, go for this course, go for this thing. Do it by yourself. Else you'd be there in misery, cause havoc to your children because now you are not satisfied with your career. When your children are born, you now want them to be doctors to help you. That's
why you're still in your career.
It's a vicious circle. So parents or intending parents, you help to develop yourself. When you're satisfied, then you can help your children with their own career choice. When you are not satisfied, you want to impose what you think you should have been on your children, and that is where the problem is coming from. So it's a vicious circle.
Okay. Z, you want to say something real quick?
Like building yourself career-wise, going back for refresher courses or whatever the case is always important, especially when you're in the private sector, because they usually have like cut downs. And when they go for those cut downs, they're not going for those junior staff. They're going for those senior staff
who are well paid.
That are well paid, because if they cut 10 of those, it would save them money, and they will be able to hire 20 people and pay 20 people what they've been paying 10.
Maybe less even.
Maybe less, and they'll do the job.
And they will do the job with more energy. They will look at it, this guy has been with this company 15 years. What value has he added to this company? Nothing. Because you've refused
to grow.
Improve yourself.
Refused to have self-growth. Then you want somebody to invest in you when you're unable to invest in yourself? Is that wisdom?
No, it's not.
Come on.
So many people are not wise.
Today we've been talking about career choices here in the conversation room. We'd like to hear about your career choice and if anything you've heard today has helped you. Our social media handles are available on the screen. So it's Nike, Rita, Chukuma, Z, and Enobong saying goodbye. And thanks for watching.
Bye-bye.